Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and I'm back to present you guys with a new series of videos that are going to showcase my entire Blu-ray collection. I had actually mentioned this in a news post that I sent out on my YouTube channel that I was going to be doing these in the near future, but I don't think many people either read those things or just saw it, but nonetheless I'm here to present you guys with a whole series of, a whole collection of videos that are just going to showcase my entire Blu-ray collection, and the whole reasoning for putting this series of videos together was, of course, to give you guys new content, but also I just kind of reached a little over the 100 mark on my Blu-ray collection. So I figured, since it's in somewhat of a smaller state, I figured now would probably be the best and most conceivable way to kind of showcase my entire collection while it's still at a lower number before it just continues to grow and grow and grow. Now, before I get into this, these are going to be, there's going to be plenty of movies that you guys have seen from previous DVD updates, and some of them are new, and some of them I may have gotten before I even started my YouTube channel, so this may be the first time you guys have ever seen them. But nonetheless, it's going to be this series of videos is going to be broken into numerous parts. So just go ahead and just constantly keep checking into the DVD updates playlist to see future installments of this. But yeah, that's basically what this whole series of videos is going to be. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into my entire Blu-ray collection. All of these titles are in alphabetical order, so we're going to start with, obviously, the A's. Here we go. The first one I have is the Blu-ray DVD digital copy version of Alice in Wonderland. I actually reviewed this movie when it came out in March of 2010 in the At the Movies playlist. You can see my review of this. I bought this. I actually went to a midnight release of this at Best Buy, but it's believe it or not, I still haven't watched the Blu-ray version of this. I really need to get around to it because although I did, enjoy the movie for what it was, it wasn't my favorite, probably not one of the best Burt and Depp collaborations. I mean, I still love, Ed Wood as being probably one of my favorites of all time. But yeah, I just haven't gotten the chance to check out the Blu-ray treatment on this, although I imagine that it's got to look really, really well and really striking, because the post-conversion 3D kind of gave me a bit of a headache. This was the first movie to actually kind of give me somewhat of some head trouble when I saw it theatrically, so I'd really like to see this movie in the Blu-ray format without the glasses on, but I can't really comment on the Blu-ray transfer of it. But yep, that's the first one. The next one I got is the full moon edition of An American Werewolf in London. When I reviewed this movie for the 2009 31 Frightening Days of Halloween Marathon, I was in fact reviewing the Blu-ray copy, and I can tell you that this film actually looked really, really good. The transfer's solid, and the sound is really great. And the real gem of this Blu-ray release is actually the documentary on it called Beware the Moon. It's like a feature-length documentary that that basically spoke to everybody, alive that was involved with An American Werewolf in London, and it's a really, really wonderful documentary for people out there that just kind of were on the fence about, double-dipping on this title. You should, because the transfer is great, and if not for anything else, you have to absolutely pick it up for this great documentary. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, that one looks great. The next one is a pretty recent purchase, and I believe I showed this in a DVD update not too long ago. And this is, of course, the Blu-ray digital copy version of the Back to the Future trilogy. Now, for those of you guys who know me, Back to the Future 1 is one of my favorite films of all time, but I just still haven't gotten around to watching any of the films yet. I did manage to watch the three-part documentary that spans over all three of the discs on this, and it is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's just an incredible job. I mentioned that they talked to Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Bob Zemeckis, Bob Gale, Spielberg. I mean, they practically got just about everybody, but there are some noticeable people that they didn't really get a chance to talk to, like the guy who played Biff, Tom Wilson, and Crispin Glover. So there's certain people that, they got bigger names like Zemeckis and, Michael Fox and Spielberg, but they just couldn't land them for interviews, which is kind of a shame, because you would have liked to see what they would have, said about the trilogy after 25 years. But nonetheless, the documentary is great, and from what I've seen in pieces of the films, they look unbelievable in the Blu-ray format, so this is a really, really welcome addition in my collection. Just having a little bit of trouble keeping my Blu-rays in order here as I'm showcasing them to you guys. The next one that I have in my collection is one of my favorite films of all time, too. And this is it's a digibook. It's the 1989 version of Tim Burton's Batman. Yeah, believe it or not, this is another one that I still have never gotten around to watching on the Blu-ray format, but it is really cool. As I mentioned, it is a digibook that has, a bunch of pictures in it. It's a whole, book inside, which seems really cool. This is, like I said, one of my favorite films of all time, but I just still have yet to watch it in the Blu-ray format. But from what I've heard, it's really, really well done. The next one I got is the sequel that Tim Burton directed, 1992's Batman Returns. The whole original series, in addition to these, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, was previously released in the Batman Anthology Blu-ray set until, about a year or 2 years ago they released them individually, which is really what I was waiting for, because I didn't really care much to double dip on Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I just mainly wanted Batman Returns, just being, a Burton completist, so I just really wanted to pick this up. Same goes with the Batman Digibook. This one just ports over all of the supplements from the previous anthology DVD box set, but they're all really, really good. The documentary and interview pieces are really great, but this is another one that I have yet to check out on Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a worthy sequel. I enjoy it for what it is. Great performances. The next one I got is another pretty recent Blu-ray purchase. It came out in October, and it's the Blu-ray DVD Diamond Edition of Beauty and the Beast. This is one that I actually have watched, and it looks amazing. Disney always does an incredible job on their Blu-ray releases, and this one is no exception. If anything, this is probably one of their best Blu-ray treatments. What can you say about Beauty and the Beast? It's one of the best animated films to ever come out of Disney. It debuted in 1991. The special features are absolutely incredible. I have not had the time to get through all of them because it's frankly overwhelming. There's just so much shit to watch on this. But yeah, sometime down the line I would love to review this film for Childhood Flicks Picks because it's one of my favorite Disney films. But yeah, it's a great picture. Moving on, this is another film that the Blu-ray release of it I actually reviewed during my 2009 31 Frightening Days of Halloween marathon as well, and it's another Burton film, 1988's 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition of Beetlejuice. This one looks really good as well on Blu-ray. The transfer looks really great. A deluxe edition, not so much. I mean, it's the exact same deluxe edition of the DVD, and there's really not much on it. There's a soundtrack CD sampler showcasing Danny Elfman's score, which is great. And it features 3 episodes of the Beetlejuice cartoon, if you guys remember that. And the thing that just kind of pisses me off, I mean, yeah, it's kind of better than nothing. 3 episodes of the show is great, but I don't know about you guys out there. I prefer my television shows, particularly my cartoon shows, in seasons. I don't need special episodes here and episodes there. I want full-fledged seasons or just a complete series box set. That's really what I'm looking for. And I just feel like they could have dug, a hell of a lot deeper on, special features for this. Obviously a commentary from Burton would have been great. Interviews with the cast after so long. And it's kind of a shame because just recently Glenn Shaddix, who played Otho in the movie, died. So I guess you'll never get a chance to get, his thoughts on this film, 20 years after the fact. So that's kind of a shame. But yeah, this is, the transfer looks great, but it definitely falls short on the special features. The next one that I have is yet another Burton film, one that I have not yet gotten a chance to watch on the Blu-ray format, and it is his 2003 film, Big Fish. I actually saw this film when I was vacationing in Disney World. I was at Universal Studios, and I saw this film at the Universal City Walk. They had a theater there, and I saw it because at the time that it was playing, it was actually still in limited release, and that theater there had it, so I knew I had to catch the latest Burton film while I was there, and I love this film. It's really good, really touching. It really broke some somewhat new territory for Burton, and this is probably one of his most personal films, but the film looked great, and I can only imagine that the Blu-ray treatment just kind of enhanced the mood and the visual, flair of this movie that much more. So I haven't gotten around to watching it on Blu-ray, but you can imagine. The next one that I have is a John Carpenter classic. I actually have the original poster for this film, and I've met Carpenter, and he autographed it for me. And the one that I'm talking about is 1986's Big Trouble in Little China. This is awesome. I love this movie. I love everything about it. The humor, the action, the special effects, everything about this is just right to me. Like, this is just a really great, action comedy, special effects extravaganza done right. And this is a film where this is a Blu-ray rather that, does an older film really justice. It, really makes the film transfer of an older film like this shine on the Blu-ray format. It just looks incredible. I mean, you're not going to get that glossy look that you get in newer films because obviously they're newer films. They're going to look a lot more slick. But a film that's, over 20 years old on Blu-ray, people sometimes kind of get the line blurred on, like, oh, it doesn't look good because it's not shiny and glossy and slick and stuff. This is the way that a Blu-ray treatment should be done on older films, and it's great. It just looks very natural. The film just looks so fresh, like it was just printed up for the theaters yesterday. So this one I always really, I really preach the transfer of Big Trouble in Little China to people that may just be getting into the Blu-ray format or trying to understand, like, how it enhances older films. Big Trouble in Little China is a perfect example of that to showcase to people. I love this film. The next one that I got is from Disney Pixar, and it is the Blu-ray of A Bug's Life. This was their second film that they followed up, the massive, hit of Toy Story, and this was a good follow-up. I really enjoy this film a lot. I have not gotten around to watching this. I scooped this up from Amazon when there was a sale going on, and I'm just a real Disney Pixar Blu-ray DVD completist, so I had to have this one in the collection. But yeah, it's a fun, great film. Pixar, never falls short of entertaining. But I haven't checked out the Blu-ray transfer, but reviews that I said were just like stunning, which is what you can expect from Disney Blu-rays, as I mentioned before. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to checking this one out yet. I'm going to showcase one more where we're going to break into the C's already of my collection, and then we're going to just, I'm going to cut the video here, and then you guys can check for part 2, and like I said, just keep checking into the DVD Updates playlist to see future installments of my Blu-ray collection videos. The last one I'm going to show for this video is the unrated director's cut of Cabin Fever. I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie when it came out in 2003. I saw it theatrically, and I didn't really think much of it. I thought it injected somewhat, something new to horror, but it just didn't really quench my taste so much. But when it first hit Blu-ray, it was on sale for $10, and I mainly wanted to get it because I hadn't seen it in years, so I wanted to get it to kind of brush my memory up for Cabin Fever 2, which, they're not really that related so much. I mean, they are, but they're not, but I just kind of wanted, for the cheap price, I wanted to just see if I missed something the first time around. Not so much, and the Blu-ray transfer really isn't anything to, brag about. It's actually kind of muddy. It's not really the best transfer ever, but, the age-old argument with Blu-ray is that it certainly will. This is probably the best that Cabin Fever will ever look for some time, but yeah, just not really my cup of tea. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to part 1 of my Blu-ray collection video series, and I'll catch you guys in future installments of this. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Frightener22.